What up, guys? Hope everything's going well. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. It helps the YouTube algorithm and gets me more views and more subscribers. Anyways, I wanted to talk about today regarding the junk wax era versus the junk slab era that we're in right now. This is not my term of the junk slab era. Other individuals have labeled this. And, I've touched bases on this topic in a few different videos here and there, but I just wanted to do a separate video on this. Okay, so the junk wax era, in the 80s, 90s, there was a ridiculous amount of supply. And, now these guys tend to be in their 60s, yeah, on the older end, some in their 50s, some in their 40s. And the ones that are in their 40s were little kids, asking mommy and daddy to take them to the card store. At that time, the Jug Slab era, I really wasn't collecting. I was, too young for that. I did get, after, you could say the junk wax era was over, my cousin or my aunt, she just gave me his baseball cards, and I was, like looking at those cards, even though there's a lot of supply. I thought I hit the bank with a Mark McGuire card from the 1980s. This was in 1998. I thought I hit the bank. I didn't. And it wasn't, in mint condition. Regardless, a problem during that time was excess supply. And what the card manufacturers learned from that time, or the card dealers, was that you don't create excess supply. You don't want to create this bubble, which is going to hurt the industry, and, layoffs and, some bankruptcies. We don't want to go through that. And now the same thing is happening where the supply is ridiculous. And here's the thing. If you go back, to the 2000s, with Tom Brady, this was after the junk wax era. There aren't that many, refractor rookie cards of Tom Brady. Yeah, there's multiple variations of Tom Brady rookie cards. I think there are about 50 rookie cards. And the thing is, I don't know of many chrome refractor cards out there. If you go to, for instance, 2018, 2019 cards of Patrick Mahomes, there's so many refractor cards out there. It's not even funny. I mean, yes, I'm expecting different variations, but the amount of refractor cards is insane. And it's an excess supply problem. And a lot of people last year, when they got back into it, I got back into it, late 2018. A lot of these guys were at home, got the stimulus checks, couldn't go to the bars, couldn't go to the games, stuck at home dealing maybe with the kid, maybe dealing with their wives all the time. So they needed to have some sort of escape. The escape was with sports cards. So they just thought, hey, let me just invest in these, after the Jordan doc. And then it just created, obviously, all of this all of this excitement in the market that, hey, there's a great arbitrage opportunity with PSA. It only costs what, 10 to 15 bucks if you have a membership with them and get a bunch of these graded. The arbitrage opportunity was fantastic. Flash forward to a year later, PSA is flooded with cards. There's so much supply out there, and everyone's acting like it's a get rich scheme, and it's not a get rich scheme. Back in the day, you had to wait, a year to get, a solid return. And now people think, hey, I could just invest in 3-4 months and make a lot of money. And, that's not going to continue on. Maybe later on in the decade, you're probably going to see easy money being made in cards, but that's because the US dollar is most likely going to go down, and there's going to be a loss of confidence in the US, and people go back into collectibles. But we got to have that hard correction, hard crash first before we get there, in my opinion. Now, what, like I said, back then it was the junk wax era. Now it's the junk slab era because everything is getting graded like none other. And guess what? You know, history is repeating itself. There's a quote by this one philosopher, I believe. His name is Santayana. Those that don't understand history are condemned to repeat it. And people my age, maybe a little older, some younger, they're doing the same thing that their parents or people the age of their parents did 25, 30 years ago. It's the same exact thing. And there's just way too much supply out there. Way too much supply. And, it's great to see optimistic people like Jeff Wilson. I think he runs Sports Card Investor with the Market Mover app. And he said that he just thinks it's a golden opportunity for sports cards, a new age, a golden age, because now we could go to the sports card shows, and now even in Chicago, they're probably going to open up within the next month or two. Now, if they're going to be opening up the economy in the next month or two, especially in places where they haven't been open, people are going to go on vacation. People are going to do things that they haven't done in a while. They may go to an amusement park. They may go cross country when they were scared. Like I told you, I went on a flight about a month ago. And I didn't go last year because I didn't know all these quarantine rules, and we're in uncharted territory. Would I have to quarantine myself? And are there going to be restrictions on planes? I didn't know what was going on. So I didn't feel comfortable. I did drive to the south, but that was driving. So, in my opinion, yes, there will be some great auctions on the high end. For instance, at Golden Auctions. Some high end cards at Propstein, however you say it, and PWCC on eBay. But for the other cards, for the middle class guys like us, or most of you guys that are middle class watching me, the cards that we're buying, most of them are not going to be going up like they did last year. And they're probably going to go down. Granted, you have the seasonal effect. You could buy during the off season. You could sell right before the season starts. You can make money that way, in my opinion. But just looking at how it was last year and early part of this year, the flipping game is over, in my opinion. Unless you could find some sort of card in a break. And breaking is not the best way to make money, by the way. But if someone's lucky to get, in the coming months, a Trevor Lawrence auto RPA card, okay, that could probably fetch good money. And when the National Treasures come out next year, those cards will probably fetch good money. Jordan Love's cards, even though he hasn't had a snap, his raw cards, some of them are going for over $2,000. That's insane. Absolutely insane. So, I'm just looking at this where everyone's excited to buy. And I like being a contrary guy. I like doing things opposite of others. I'm just selling my cards more aggressively. Am I making some buys? Yes. I told you I just bought some Bulls cards the last month because it brings back good memories. I bought Ron Harper, Scottie Pippen, Luke Longley. I may buy a Tony Kukoc card, and it's not to make money. It's just because it makes me feel good. It brings back the memories of the good old days. But in terms of investing, I don't know. I don't know what's out there. What are you guys investing in? If you think you could potentially make money with a market with all of this excess supply, and that excess supply is going to be coming back from PSA. I'd like to hear your thoughts and what you're doing. And I told you, I think maybe a few months ago, I was getting more aggressive in the stock market, even though I know it's overblown. I do realize that's a bubble. However, it's only gone up almost 2x in a year, while sports cards, some of them have gone up 10x, 15x, 20x. It's insane. And I like to go to parts of the investment world that aren't as overblown as of this moment. The bubble will pop, in my opinion, probably in the next, 12 to 18 months. That's why I was getting into miners. I was aggressively getting into gold miners, silver stocks, and just don't invest in these things just because I'm saying so. These are just my own thoughts. This is not investment advice. And I do buy some cards here and there, but it's nothing aggressive. I am just being more aggressive on the sell side. I don't want to sell everything at once. What if USPS loses my packages? We had problems last year with USPS and COVID, and there were a lot of delays. And the election, they had all sorts of problems with their sorting machines. Right now, the USPS is getting better than it was last year. Granted, it's not an election year. Anyways, I do want to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think about this junk slab era? Are we in for a hard landing in the next few years, like I've been talking about? Do you think that this still is a good opportunity? You can find opportunities. And if you are looking to buy, what are you buying? I do see some YouTube comments or YouTube titles such as there will be a rebound and it's going to be imminent in the basketball card market. Now, that could be the case for the next month, but I don't want to play that game because everything is going to be opening back up. Just because we've seen the card market go up right into the playoffs doesn't mean it's going to happen this time around. It could. I mean, and we have Space Jam, so people may be speculating that. I'm really not getting aggressive into that. I'm more aggressive on the stock market side right now, and on selling cards. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, and I'll talk to you another day, guys. Thank you. Bye.